Hey, what's up everybody? Alright guys, so Jack is back with part 3 of learning to do your first air. Now this video has some amazing info, so make sure you watch the whole thing because he put some really good info about learning an air. Jack, take it away.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Learning to Air. My name is of course Jack, and today we'll be going over some tips and techniques to make sure you start landing those airs. So in the past 2 episodes I've gone over everything from getting speed to getting into the air. Now before we start this week's episode, I'm just going to do a quick recap to refresh your memory and go over anything that I might have missed. I'll be walking you through step by step, talking over my old GoPro footage, its point of view, so it really shows what I was doing in that moment on that particular place in the wave, and I can voice over what I was thinking, what I was doing, and things like that. So it should really give you an idea of what you could be looking for when you're on a similar sort of wave, and it'll give you a rough idea of what you could maybe go out and practice and try. After I've done this quick voiceover, I'll come back here and go over some tips, techniques, and maybe, just maybe, I'll share with you one of my top secrets to make sure you land your airs 80 to 90% of the time. But first, I'll just do a quick voiceover. Okay, so we'll start off by using this video clip. Now this wave is absolutely perfect. It's fairly small, I believe it was about head high when I took off, and by the time I got to the air section it was about waist high. So I've just done 3 strokes, a nice easy paddling. I'm just about to stand up, and as soon as I stand up I'm analysing the wave. Right about here I've seen that air section, so I've gone, right, okay, what do I need to do now? So I've got a lot of speed at this moment, and the section is far away, so I need to burn off a little bit of speed. So I thought I would just do a little bit of a layback, kind of a snappy cutback in the pocket type thing, just to burn off a little bit of speed, allow the wave to stand up a little bit. So I've analysed the wave and I thought to myself, right, I'm going to need some speed. The wave is quite small, it's a little bit fat, it's a little bit flat. So right about here, I'm still analysing the section. I thought to myself, right, this is going to be an amazing section for doing an air. So I'm still pumping. Right here I'm going to start drawing out my bottom turn. The wave is quite fat and quite flat, so it doesn't need a sharp bottom turn at all. Right here I've hit the lip. As you can see, if I slow it down, my feet slide up. I'm bringing my knees to my chest, and I'm going to start to straighten out my legs as I come back down the wave. Now if I pause it there, you'll see that I've pushed my back foot out too much, which has allowed my board to tweak out slightly. Don't worry about doing that if you're a beginner and intermediate, just do what comes natural. Keep your feet as nice and straight as possible. Okay, so wave number 2. Right here I'm just about to pop up. I pull my head up and I can already see the section that I want to air off. Now it's quite far away. I've analysed the wave already. I've realised I need to do a lot of pumping. This wave is fat, it's slow, there's not much power, so I'm just going to drive as hard as I can off my front foot, utilising the entire of the wave, top to bottom. I've come up, I've looked up again, and I can see that section once again coming towards me. I'm in luck. I found a diamond in the rough. Really, there wasn't any waves this day. So I'm still pumping top to bottom, trying to drive, trying to get as much speed as I can. Now I'm thinking to myself here, what is this section going to do? It looked like it really did start to steepen up. So I've started to do my bottom turn a little bit earlier, just to ensure I get the drive and the speed. Now I'm driving. Now if I pause it there, you can actually see that this section was very, very steep. It was actually barreling towards me. This is not a good section to air off. However, it does show you can just air off anything once you get used to it. So once again, you can see I'm bringing my knees to my chest. I've scraped my foot slightly forward like an ollie. I didn't actually realise I did this till I watched these videos. However, you know, give it a go, it might help. I've projected towards the flats in this. If I pause it here, you can actually see, now if I draw a line right along that middle, that's the bit where I would usually like to land in. However, this wave was a little bit steeper, so I projected to the flats to give me as much of a chance as landing it as possible. So I'm coming down, I'm going to straighten my legs, I've hit the white water, I'm going to compress my knees, compress my body, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I will ride out of this wave, and what do you know, I've done it. And just like that, guys, I am back. Okay, so landing airs. Now, in my opinion, the landing of the air is not hard. It's everything else that revolves around the landing that is hard. There are so many factors that going into landing. You have factors like the wave itself, your balance, your foot placement, your weight distribution. With regards to the wave itself, have you gone too far towards the flats? Are you too far off the back of the wave? Is the wind holding you up? Has your wind blown your board away? There's loads and loads of factors. So yeah, there are hundreds and hundreds of factors that go into landing your air. It's just not your technique and your skill. Do not get disheartened if you are falling off a lot. Everybody falls off. If you watch any professional surfing contest, Kelly Slater, John Florence, Gabriel Medina, Geordie Smith, Kalohe Andino, free surfers like Dion, Creed McTaggart, Noah Dean, Clay Marzo, they all fall off. So it's just a lot of practice. Just keep going at it. One day you will land an air, and hopefully with these tips it will be very, very soon. So how do you actually land? How do you land an air? What do you do? It's basically very simple. Pushing everything I just said about there being hundreds and hundreds of factors. Without those factors, it would be that easy. It really would. You're just following the motion of a jump, basically. If you jump down off a table, or if you do an ollie on a skateboard, it is that motion of falling back down, compressing your body, keeping your weight evenly distributed so you don't fall off, fall forward, fall backwards, fall sideways. You just want to keep nice, evenly weighted. You don't want to do anything different than you would jumping down off a table or doing an ollie on a skateboard. It's really that simple. Now, the technique behind that is obviously a little bit different for surfing, so that is what I will go through now. So once you're in the air, after you've sprung out of the lip, you should bring your knees to your chest, as this will help bring your board up. Now, this should be the maximum height of your wave. After that point, you're going to start to fall back down. And this is where it gets a little bit more technical. Like I said, it's still very, very simple. Just like you would in a normal jump or an ollie on a skateboard, you just have to straighten out your legs. Now, do not, I repeat, do not straighten your legs out fully. Keep them 85% straight, 80% straight. If you do straighten your legs, there's a high chance of you blowing out your kneecaps, damaging some ligaments, shattering your ankles, just a whole load of problems that you do not want. So keep them a little bit bent and you should have no problems whatsoever. Now, to be honest, I cannot really think of anything else that you need to know. It's basically following the motion of the entire air, compression, bringing your knees up, decompression, keeping your weight nice and centered, not leaning too far back, too far forward. Obviously, the factors play a massive role in landing the air, but like I said, that's nothing that you personally can control, so don't let that stress you out. However, I do have one secret that I might just share with you. Okay, here it is. Now, when I use this tip, I land 80-90% of all of my airs. I'm going to show you a quick series of photos. It's a sequence from a few weeks ago. Try and look closely, see if you notice anything that I'm doing. So, did you notice anything? Maybe not. Maybe if you don't know what you're looking for, you probably wouldn't have spotted it. If we zoom in, you'll notice my eyes are dead locked at where I'm going to land. Now, this is a game changer. If you're doing an air and not looking at where you want to land, chances are you're not going to make it. So keep your eyes focused, keep your eyes locked on where you want to land. Now a quick note after I just said where you want to land, I forgot to tell you what you should be looking for to land on. The most perfect place to land your wave is right in the middle, right on the soft spot of the top of the white water. That is where you want to aim. Now the angle on this wave is a little bit dodgy as I wasn't really quite used to using the GoPro here, however it does show the perfect landing spot. When I say landing in the middle of the wave, this is what I mean. Right here, if I pause it right here, you can see what I mean about landing right in the middle of the wave. I'm right on the top of the wave, right where it is breaking. I'm not too far back, I'm not too far forward. Now my feet could be a little bit more centered, but you know, I've been doing airs for 2 or 3 years, maybe longer, so I'm kind of used to it. I know what I'm doing here. So this is really the perfect situation for landing an air. Now before I finish this episode, I'm just going to go over a few mistakes, another voiceover, just a few videos of what you shouldn't be doing. Okay, so this is a quick fail, this is something you don't want to do. Now I'm just pumping down the line, trying to get as much speed as I can, top to bottom pumping here. Now I've hit the section, and right here I've spanned my back foot around too much. You know, I was going for an air reverse, I was being a bit cocky. Just keep it simple, keep to the straight airs. Now at the start of this wave you might realise that I actually did a stall rather than doing a pump. I actually did 2 stalls. Now that was because I knew that the section was quite far away, the wave hadn't quite stood up yet. The wind was very strong offshore, so it did take a long time for the wave to stand up, more than usual. However, I've come to the section looks pretty damn perfect on this one again. I've come up, as you can see, if I pause it here, I'm leaning way too far back. This is definitely just going to make me fall off. There's no way you can come back from that, at least for me anyway. Maybe if you're John Florence, you might have a chance. So there you are guys, this video along with all of the others should get you landing airs in no time at all. Make sure you come back next week for the final episode of Learning to Airs. I'll be telling you some top secrets that you should not want to miss out on. I just want to finish off this video by saying a huge thank you to iSurf Tribe once again. I really do appreciate them allowing me to come onto their channel. Maybe come over and check out my channel as well. I do vlogs, I do surfing tutorials, I do adventure videos, exploring, a whole load of other cool stuff. So make sure you come back next week for the final episode. I hope you have enjoyed this video guys. Peace.
Alright Jack, thanks man, that was an awesome video. So if you guys are learning how to do an air, make sure you watch that video like 2 or 3 times because there's a lot of hidden gems in there that you might miss. Alright, let's give Jack some love. Let's go over to his channel, subscribe. If we can get him to 1,000 subscribers, maybe we can get him to come back and do a couple more tutorials down the line. Alright guys, so we will see you in the next video. Make sure you go in the description, check out Jack's channel. He also has more tutorials over there. Pura vida and aloha.